What is going on, everyone? It is a beautiful day out here and the lawn is greening up. Hopefully I can get my first mow in this weekend. So we've already talked about our pre-emergent herbicide and getting that down. So what comes after that? We got to talk about our post-emergent herbicide. So in this video, I'm going to give you some critical information as you start to reach for your post-emergent herbicides, because all of them are not created equal. This information will help you this spring and also into the summer. All right, let's get into it. When we're making these applications, we want to make sure we're thinking about a couple of things. One of those being, we want to make sure that we're getting an effective application and we're eliminating our target weed with little to no damage done to our desired turf. We work hard out here in the lawn, we work hard for our money, so we also want to make sure we're getting the best bang for our buck when we're putting down these applications. And knowing the composition of the herbicides that we're putting down can definitely help attribute to that. So when we look around your landscape or your lawn, you don't have just grass. You've got other plants, shrubs, trees, and flowers. Hey, maybe you've even got a garden in the back like I do. So when we're making these applications, we want to make sure that we're minimizing any impact that can be done to any of those surrounding plants or landscape. So one of the key factors that goes into that is volatility. So the products that you're putting down, depending on the composition of them, can have a higher or lower volatility, especially based on the environmental conditions. So volatility is the ability for that product to then vaporize or turn into a gas. So that is post-application, not the same as drift. Drift is as you're making the application, that liquid product is then moving. That's why it is important that we are looking at the composition of those herbicides that we're choosing to put down, especially as we go from the spring into the summer and we're looking at different environmental conditions. As we start to think about which product we're going to go down with, we need to do what? Take a look at the label. So as we look at the label of the herbicide that you're planning to go down with, there's two different categories that you really want to look at from an active ingredient standpoint. So you're either going to have a ester based or you're going to have a amine or salt based herbicide. So that is going to be critical in determining which product you should go down with given the time of year. So we're in spring, so let's start there. With ester-based herbicides, they are going to be definitely more effective during our cooler temperatures like here in early spring and also in the fall as temperatures start to cool. One of the reasons for that is the volatility of these products. So they're also known as being hot. So they are effective at getting into the plant quickly. You want to make sure that you're aware of the volatility of these products that you're using if they are ester based. So paying attention to your environmental conditions is going to be critical here. Using ester based herbicides during the hot and dry conditions increases the potential for the volatility of that product getting into undesired areas. So summertime is not a preferred time to be applying ester-based herbicides for your weed control. To name a couple of ester-based herbicides, number one, you know, my favorite, Speed Zone. That is a ester-based herbicide, which is why I like going down with it in the spring. To name a couple of other, Cool Power and also your Triclopyr ester. So those are effective cool season herbicides that you can go down with a very effective broadleaf weed control. Let's talk about our second category of herbicide, and that's going to be our amine based. As we look at the label, you'll see somewhere on there next to the active ingredient, it typically says salt. That'll give you a key indicator that you're dealing with a amine based herbicide. So what are some of the benefits of using a amine based herbicide? For one, they are less volatile than the ester based herbicides that we just talked about. So if they have less volatility to them, a benefit is during the hot, dry summer climates, that is when we want to prefer to go down with our amine-based herbicides. With that, those products have a lower volatility, which then has a less chance of them being able to move into undesired areas of the landscape or the lawn. To name a couple of amine-based herbicides, you've got triplet that's out there as a amine base. You've got a four-way called Q4, also amine-based, and you've also got Drive Accelerate or quinclorac mixture that's out there. Those are a couple of different options that you can look at as you're thinking about your summertime weed control if you've got to get something down. Well, at this point, we've covered those two different categories. This is some information that should be able to help you make a better choice in the herbicide that you're going to be using. Just to sum it all up, ester-based, cool temperatures, amine-based, salt amine or salt-based, we're going to be looking at those during our hot, dry summer conditions. That's really what it comes down to. Hope you can use this information as you start to choose your post-emergent weed control for the season. Hey, and I always say, just know, we work.